Welcome to the Didactic Tailoring by Giuseppe. Here I present my ideas on educational activities. This is the first episode I record in English. I am not a YouTuber. I am looking for a practical outlet for my ideas. The problem of today's society is, in my opinion, polarization of opinions. On a topic, two groups with opposing and extreme opinions tend to be created. Each group sees the other group as enemy, and in this way society risks dividing. Levi-Strauss wrote in the essay Race and History that seeing the other as a barbaric is precisely the attitude of the barbarian. If we see and treat the other as a monster, we are the monsters. Levi-Strauss wrote, in the Greater Antilles, a few years after the discovery of America, while the Spaniards were sending out commissions of investigation to discover whether or not the natives had a soul, the latter spent their time drowning white prisoners in order to ascertain by long observation whether or not their bodies would decompose. Polarization has at least one advantage. People inside the groups, feel safe and feel protected. The worst situation is the situation of a man who breaks away from one group and enters in the no man's land. In that case, he will be insulted by both groups. But this is the best position to get out of the conflict and to see things from another perspective. Apparently, a man in no man's land is the farthest from both poles. In fact, he is insulted by both groups. But in reality, he is the closest one. Now I will present a didactic activity for the elementary school which simulates the situation of a man who breaks away from a group and enters and goes to the no man's land and must find a solution, a way out of the polarization. The name of this activity is No Man's Land. It's a card game. We can create a didactic activity simulating a situation of a polarization and no man's land, in fact. This activity is good for elementary school children, but also for older students, also for boys and girls in high school. It's a competition between three groups. The themes are abstract. Realism is not important, especially in this case for the children of elementary school. It's important to find an antidote to polarization. This is important. Three groups. There are 3 rounds for the 3 groups. The groups in turn will impersonate the green group, the yellow group, and the man who stands in the no man's land. We can use signs to to identify the three groups each time. The green and yellow groups draw a card. In the card there are the opposing positions that they will have to support. Groups are not the same. This is important because one group, the yellow group, is that of the common sense, while the green group is more rigid in its opinion. In this way, the middle group will have to find a solution that is not an easy middle ground. The no man's land group will have to ask the yellow and the green group 2 questions each time. The questions are always the same. What do you think of the other group? And this is important because in situations of polarization, each group sees the other as the enemy. The second question is, what are the motivations? The motivations are important because is at the level of motivations that negotiation takes place. And also it's important for students to learn to read motivations behind behaviors of people. This group, the group in no man's land, will have to ignore the initial statements and investigate the needs behind them. In fact, some statements are absurd. Also in the real life this happens, while the motivations are always true. And it is among the motivations that agreement will have to be found. The first card I will make an example. The first card is this. The subject are clothes. The yellow group will support this statement. Younger siblings must have new clothes and some of the older siblings. The green group will support this statement. Younger siblings should only use the clothes of older siblings. So, no new clothes, only the old clothes. The questions of the third group in this case, the third group in this case is the group of no man's land. What do you think of the other group and what is your motivation? The answers. The yellow group answer to the first question. They treat their children like things, without things, let's say, without a personality, without their own tastes. What is the motivation? The motivation of the yellow group is that we cannot impose our tastes. They must be able to choose. So the importance of the choice. While the green group thinks that the yellow group spoils their children, and what is the motivation? New clothes are expensive. Those of the brothers or sisters are fine. So the solution found by the third group is put together the clothes of all the older brothers and sisters and make them available to those who want, so they can choose, but at the same time save. Now the yellow and the green group will have to give a score. The score of the yellow group is 5 out of 5. The score of the green group is 5 out of 5. They are very satisfied from the answer of the two groups. Because motivation were choice and save money, save money. The second card is this. For the third group now, the third group is the yellow. Both doors and windows are needed, while the green group says that only doors, no windows. The question always the same, and the answer. What do you think about the other group? They want to stay in jail, no freedom without windows. The motivation is that light, we need light, because with windows we have light. The green group says that they don't care about security. The yellow group don't care about security, and the door is important for entering and also for the air. But there is a question of privacy. Anyone can see you from the outside if you have the window. The solution is that the group of No Man's Land says that you can leave the windows, but with mirror glass, one-way mirror. It's a solution expensive. The score is 4 out of 5 for the light, because the one-way mirror are not very good for the light, but 5 out of 5 for the privacy for the green group. Third and last card, smartphone and tablet. The yellow group says that children can have a mobile phone or a tablet from 8 years old. The green group says that children can never have a mobile phone or tablet, never. The question are posed by the group number 1 this time. The answer for the yellow group, the children of the green group don't know the world without the internet, because this is the motivation. Internet is full of stimuli to grow, while for the green group they can say no to their children. Their children are spoiled. The yellow group children are spoiled, and there are many dangers online. The solution of the No Man's Land group is that they can use a tablet that is from the old house, so a tablet, a family tablet. The score 4 out of 5, and for the yellow 3 out of 5. The motivation were the importance of learning and the importance of safety. Who wins? The team with the highest score given by the other two groups in No Man's Land wins. In this example is the group number 3, the first card. But with equal points, the group that gave the best answers to the group's questions in No Man's Land wins. In this case, the teacher is the judge. This activity can be presented also for the older students, for example, high school. But in that case, the issues should be topical, for example, racism, sexism, and the motivations must be real, with a real documentation. I greet you and give you an appointment to the next episode in which I will present an activity against bullying.